3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Dobrý? Paráda. Není... Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, let me, on behalf of Cybercell Consulting and Anifilm International Festival, warmly welcome you to Game Pitch Arena Liberec 2026. Game Pitch Arena is a unique opportunity, not only for developers from Czech Republic and Slovakia. Individual studios had a chance to not only win valuable prizes, support for the development, but as well the unique experience to pitch their game in front of experienced jury. As a viewer or visitor, you can experience how our games are roasted by senior publishers, and we have some. So please welcome with huge applause Alan Adham, Content and Acquisition Lead from Everplay Group. Gorgeous. He comes from Manchester, UK, and if you don't know Everplay, you probably know Team 17, the publishing brand. Worms, Overcooked, Alien Breed, and I can continue like for ages. Second is Henner Brin, Business Development Manager from Calypso Media Group. Comes from Germany, I guess you know Tropico or Sudden Release, Sudden Strike 5. Mario Gerhold, Global Brand and Marketing Manager Director from Night Peak / My Games. Thank you very much. 25 years in industry, credited in 30 plus games, and I don't know why, but I would like to mention Tempest Rising, because for obvious reasons. Anton Ravin, Game Industry Executive from Fulcrum Publishing. They publish my favorite game, King's Bounty. And last but not least, Vladimír Geršel, founder and CEO of Cybercell Consulting and platform Sale.game. And I would like to welcome Vlad on the stage to have some introductory words. Take your mic. Awesome.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for coming so early. 2 years ago, we started this with Tomáš sitting here as a new activity connected to Anifilm, because we felt that games and animation movies are quite connected and will be more and more connected in the future. It was kind of one-time project to try it, and now it's the third or second sequel. It's happening for the third time. I'm more than happy that it's really growing from amount of games that we are receiving. I really like the quality of the games, and I'm especially very thankful for great jury that is coming. I really think that we have never had on other conferences and so on such a great jury on one place. So first, thank you all for coming, guys. And second, please try to use the feedback of the jury, because that's the real life feedback. That's feedback you will really hear when you're pitching the game. You maybe know our company. We are the only consulting agency in Czech and relatively well known worldwide. So we know how pitching process works, and we try to mimic it as well as it can be done on the stage. So all the feedback, I believe, it's not valuable only for you standing on the stage in that moment, but also for the others listening or watching our stream. So please try to think of your game being in the shoes of someone standing here, of the feedback, of all the mistakes and good things that you see, and try to use it in the future to have successful title and find your right publisher. Thank you very much and enjoy. Bye.
Thank you, Vlad. Thank you. I would like to add that the main partner of Anifilm International Festival, the PPA Foundation, has generously donated 10,000 euros to the prize pool. It's a great start for development budget. And we have, for 3 winners, we have vouchers for marketing services by Fuchs Dachs as well as voucher from premium tier on platform sale.game that can help sell your game to profit or to publisher. All in the range of kind of, 1,000 euros, so 16,000 euros as a prize pool. Brilliant. First, I would like to thank organizers, Cybercell Consulting and Anifilm International Festival. Awesome. And I would like to thank as well partners PPA Foundation, Liberecký kraj, Fuchsdachs, and poslední podcast. Small promotion. So we have two categories: experimental, enchanting, and experimental genres. Then we will have 10-minute breaks, and established and wide audience genres. There are 5 applicants in each category, 10 in total. 9 in total at the end of the day, but doesn't matter, one is missing. Each studio has exactly 4 minutes for the pitch, and then followed by 5 minutes Q&A with the publishers. So final verdict will be announced today 7:30 in the tent at Chateau. So without further ado, let's start with enchanting and experimental genres, and I would like to welcome on the stage Gary Day. Support them.
Okay, hello. My name is Sam. This is my sister Terka, and we are here to show you a game that we've been working on called Gary Day. And here's the short preview. Okay, so Gary Day is a Souls-like game with RPG elements. You play as a water strider named Gary. He lives on the water surface, but due to recent threats, other insects who normally live on land had to move there to the water surface. So the water surface became a dangerous place. But Gary has been safe. He's been hidden in a secret water strider village. Our story begins when he decides to leave it. So Gary Day is a Souls-like game, which means it has a combat system, which is built on the concept of surface tension. Other insects struggle to walk on water, which allows Gary to attack them and break this tension, making them vulnerable. The combat is designed to be precise and rhythmic, inspired by the game Sekiro. Other than the combat, the game features RPG elements in the form of storylines with meaningful choices and more moral, and also the game follows the traditional Souls format. There are linear areas with enemies and bosses along the way, and also progression system in the form of ability upgrades and items and equipables.
Our visual style is inspired by local nature and its small creatures, and we've been experimenting with different textures and scanning them and putting them into the designs. And even though the game is entirely in 2D, we introduce depth through layering and parallax and giving it a subtle three-dimensional feel. And the game is all made in Godot and animated in Moho.
So for our inspiration, I already mentioned Sekiro for its combat feel. We also looked at Knights and Bikes for its hand-drawn aesthetics, or Naiad for its top-down water mechanics. We also included our market competitors, games with similar scope and similar target audience. Our scope and price, we are aiming for about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. The game will feature an evolving central hub that the player returns to throughout the game, 5 to 6 diverse areas with different atmosphere and enemies, 5 main bosses and repeatable mini-bosses with some unique rewards, and 10 plus side quests. And our current price estimate is at around 10 to 15 euros.
We are seeking funding of 110,000 euros for 18 months of development. We've been already spending around 6 months of doing this, but only in our self-time, so we didn't have that much time on it, and this funding would really allow us to dedicate more time. And also we would really like to hire additional animator, and to get some professional feedback on the game design and refine it more. So currently still being in pre-production, we are still focusing on improving combat mechanics and iterating the story, and soon we want to start with public playtesting. The plan to release demo is later this year on fall, targeting Steam Next Fest, and the game release next year at the end of 2027. And to quickly introduce our team, Sam is our programmer, I'm doing art direction, and Martin does sound and music for us. And thank you so much for listening, and if you are interested, here is the QR code to our Steam page.
Thanks so much. That was a very, very strong start, I have to say. Really appreciate also that you thought through the competition, pricing, the breakdown of costs. A quick question in regards to the timeline. I think you mentioned demo release this year, but release next year.
Demo this year with the Steam Next Fest in October or in the fall, and the next year is planned the full game release by the end of next year.
Yeah, I would recommend to put the demo closer to the launch, because you have only one feature option in the Steam Next Fest.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, I like the story about you being a sister. That's good for marketing, yeah? can build something around it. You mentioned Souls as one of the key elements. Have you considered to offer different, let's say, level of difficulties, like easy, mid, hard, or something like this? In the background of this question, before your answer is, it's about animals, it's about bugs, and maybe you can work with companies that are doing research in the field of biology or something like this.
So for the difficulty, it's a hard question. It's like discussed in the gaming world in general, and we have not decided yet because we have gotten a feedback because of the visuals that some players that normally would not play Souls games would want to try this. Yeah. So that might be the reason that we could add some like difficulty option or some gameplay difficulty changing stuff. And what was the second part?
No, that was the main question about the level of difficulty. Yeah. And if you would consider, let's say, a lower level of difficulty or easy mode or story mode, I'm not sure if there are story elements in the game.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then you can consider to go wider with the audience, because Souls-like audience is very specific and narrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
I fully agree. A very, very intense start to this festival. Very nicely done. I would be interested, you mentioned like 2 or 3 times something like an RPG part in the game. So what do you consider as RPG in this game?
Yes, we consider, because we feel like standard Souls-likes, the side quests are mostly abstract, and we want more like RPG-style side quests, where it will be more like connected to the story, and you will have also some choices. We also show that you have some breaching dialogues, and you can like the side quests can have different outcomes based on your choices.
Talking about something like 10 hours playing time, so would you consider something like 50% like RPG inside, or is it more like the Souls style, like 2/3 of it, or something like that?
Yeah, probably less. We are looking at mostly like fighting games, Souls game, and there are like also there's the evolving hub, to which, for example, you will be able to recruit bugs to join the hub, and then they will provide some other side quests and this kind of stuff. But mostly it's a fighting Souls game.
Okay,
like 80%.
I really would put an exclamation mark behind Mario's mentioning the being close with demo and release. That's really an important one.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Very good pitch. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Very cute game. Love it. Love the visuals. Completely agree with colleagues regarding demo. Like, I would just say, like, don't do Steam Fest at all. Let the publisher do it. Once you find the publisher, let them figure it out. Because once you attend, you can't attend again. A question I have is, the game's already announced. How is it going with the following wish lists? Because we're kind of professionals here,
yes.
And we love something that stands out, but I don't know what consumer reaction would be to a game like this.
Yes, we have not really started with marketing yet. We have released the Steam page, so we can start with the marketing. We have an Instagram page, and we made a few Reddit posts, but we don't have like a large amount of wish list for now. It's just we're just starting with the marketing. We're mostly focusing on the core mechanics.
How long since the game was announced?
Yeah, so like 4 months. But then we changed the visuals quite a bit, and like a week ago we updated with the teaser and with new visuals.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Looks very cute.
Thank you.
Great presentation. I'm a big fan of like hand-drawn art in game. It's, you know, Rayman is one of my favorite games of all time, so, you know, I love that. So being on the Souls-like track, I didn't really get an understanding towards, you know, what that progression through the game would be, you know, the difficulty with the bosses. Is there like a meta progression with the character of learning new skills? Being a bug, you know, there's probably quite a variety for you to kind of tap into. Didn't really kind of get that through the pitch, so I was just kind of hoping you could kind of talk a little bit more to it. Is it the bosses that are going to be more difficult throughout the game, or is there going to be new skills versus new bosses, you know, that you then have to like mix up your strategies like a Souls-like?
Yes, we didn't include it in the pitch because we weren't sure about the time, that if we had time. But yes, it's we want to keep the scope manageable because we could like pile up features, but we were a bit scared of that. So we will plan to have a skill tree with some upgradables, for the character with some abilities. Then also an in-game currency with some shops, but it will be like very, very simple, maybe like Undertale style. And also some items that you can use during the combat. And that's probably like the scope that we want to keep.
And then does the narrative lean into that at all, or is just the narrative something that just operates on its own and then the Souls-like is just operating separately?
Yes, the narrative is mostly about the like conflict that insects that would normally not live on the water move there, and the water strider has to manage this new environment that is dangerous for them.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, and again, lovely pitch. You know, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. I'll try to be fast because most of things were mentioned. I think now looking at it from the point of view of someone who is selling games or bringing games to publisher, the biggest issue from what was said here, from my point of view, are wish lists. And I would recommend that as your next focus, because when you come to publisher and say we have 15,000 wish lists, 10,000 at least, that's a proof that the very special and really beautiful art style works with the Souls principles, because I think that would be something everyone would question if it's really good combination, if it's, you know, not too casual visuals versus too hardcore gameplay, and you need to prove it by wish lists, I would say. Second thing, I was working on games and leading games with meaningful choices. You mentioned that part. If there is really some branch tree of choices and reactions, that's relatively expensive feature to test and everything.
Yes, I should probably like disclose that because we do not want to have these features in the main story, just mostly focus on like short paths.
Yes.
With maybe some like very shallow like differences in the main story, but
yes, that would be my recommendation, because you would have too many things to focus on, and I know by myself that Souls-like audience is very harsh. Your fight needs to be really good, otherwise don't rather call it Souls-like. So you have this big challenge already combined with great art, but that it would be challenge. So no more challenges I would bring there.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you as well.
That was Gary Day. I must admit that it was a strong start, so we will see how it goes with the next one. So please welcome with big applause, Granny's Virtual Cookies.
Hi, I'm Philip, and together with my friends, we're baking this 2D platformer game, Granny's Virtual Cookies. Can I get the trailer? So the game is inspired by our experiences of helping our grandparents who get frustrated with technologies. We thought of taking these frustrations and making the players of our game feel it as well. Because in Granny's Virtual Cookies, you will be playing as a grandma. This is our main character, Boženka. Throughout the game, you will be collecting cookies, which will then unlock authentic recipes from our own grandparents. You will not only be controlling Boženka with your keyboard, but you will also use your mouse to open, close, and move the windows, as you saw in the trailer. This combo creates a mechanic that makes the levels hard, but in a fun and creative way, because you really need to control and use both parts of your brain to combine the movements. In the game, you will be chatting with your grandson, because the main point of the game is to scan and send him your legendary cookie recipe. But the way to get it isn't going to be easy because there are viruses, so you need to be careful where you click and where you jump because they can kill you instantly. This is our team. We're working on the game in our free time, so it will probably take us like 2 years to finish it unless we get some financing and further help. In that case, we might focus on it more, and we will focus on it more and finish it in around a year. Here are games with similar gameplay, and we'll be focusing the marketing on fandoms of these games and also on people who are nostalgic to Windows 95 because the visuals are heavily inspired by Windows 95 and Vaporwave aesthetic. We're thinking of selling the game for $10 on Steam, Epic Games Store, and it will be played solely on computer due to the keyboard and mouse interface. We're thinking of making it in Czech, English, and hopefully some other languages as well. And we're looking for help in marketing, we're looking for financing, sponsors, and just general consultations and feedback since all of us are juniors. Thank you so much for your time, thank you so much for this opportunity, and yeah, if you want, please reach out to us or just give us a follow so you see our progress. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Definitely fun-looking game. I can see that a lot of components for a fun platformer are in there. Killer music, fun setting, this kind of stuff. The presentation is lacking a lot of information though, right? So if you would send something like this to me, I would be like, okay, can you please elaborate? Like if you're looking for funding, how much, what's your timeline? A lot of information was basically useless, like your team slide. I understand that you guys have a team. It doesn't tell me anything. You wouldn't even share like full names of people who are working on the project. Why put the slide in there though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should have worked on it better, I guess, yeah.
So, when you will work on this presentation for publishers, I don't know if you've been sending this to anyone yet, but when you will work on something you'll actually be sending out, try to make as little slides, like in terms of number of slides as possible, and as much information in there, and make it to the point, because publishers, they have to look for a lot of presentations, and you might want to consider making a better use of their time.
Okay, thank you.
And the standard question I have you announced the game?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Interesting pitch. So I was a fan of this idea of, the mouse and keyboard, having to do them both. Does create a very kind of unique sort of gameplay idea. The one thing I didn't really understand is once you've done a few levels, how does it progress? What's going to keep driving me forwards? This cookies element with grandma, I didn't really understand how that tied into the game, short of collecting the cookie as a coin. So I felt as though there was quite a bit of disconnect in what this whole granny's kind of cookies thing was. I find the platforming genre quite challenging. I think a lot of publishers refrain from like these kind of like 2D platforms unless it is showcasing something, truly unique. I think some of the comparable titles you popped up there, it didn't get me excited, I'll be honest with you. And I think it might be worth looking into some others to go, okay, publishers would be more recognizable about these. And speaking to what that opportunity is, how many units did they do? Where do you think yours sits on that chart? It's right now, as Anton mentioned, we are inundated with pitches. If we got this pitch through our kind of like pitch review process, I'm not sure how many publishers would actually respond, because there isn't a great deal of information in there that is useful. So it may be worth, chatting to some other developers, kind of finding out what information they're putting in, chat to publishers as well, what do they need to see, and then, kind of rework the pitch a little bit to kind of give us more understanding of what this is.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I have to say, you got me with the title and with the story. You got me with the trailer, and you lost me everything after. So, not saying that it's crap, not at all. But just saying that the presentation lacks of any information that I would like to get. Anything else? Nice game, nice idea. Please improve, come back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so from the marketing side a bit more, will the game also offer the function or opportunity to play with a grandpa, or is it solely a grandma character?
That's a great question. We haven't thought about it. So far, it's only grandma, yes.
Okay, so prepare for some headwind in regards to options. Looking at looking at platformers, side scrollers, how restrict would you be on the support of a controller? That's a full no-go, or are you considering this as well?
No, we're considering doing it only on computer because of the mouse and keyboard interface. Yeah.
Okay. If I would want to give an advice for the presentation, I would start with a recipe, because it's about cookies. And that recipe could be very downsized as we are mixing retro, platformer, side-scrolling, nostalgia, and then you have 3-4 elements that you are combining, and that is your kick-off for the presentation. So you set the expectation also for the audience. I think that's the most important from my side. Over to Vlad.
Thank you so much. That's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you as well. I was really, through the whole presentation, thinking about those 200 publishers we work with and trying to figure out if I know at least one we can bring this game to. Because this game, it can be very viral. But it is, I would say, a lottery, and it's a lottery that I don't know many publishers that would bid on. It's something you would probably need to try and make it viral yourself, because I don't think this is typical game for publisher. It's like very indie, very special. The gameplay feels more like a bit of like a game jam things connected together. So it can be really nice, viral thing, but I don't think publishers will be probably way for you to the future. That's just my few cents. But maybe when it starts to be viral, and you have like 50K wish lists and everything, then you might have publishers knocking your door, and then it's a question if you need it with this game already. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Granny's virtual cookies, what a lovely idea. I'm really interested in those recipes. And now something much more brutal. Please welcome on the stage, Flashback.
Thank you very much. Hi, Today I'm going to show you a game which my mom thinks all PC games are like, which is called Flashback. So in Flashback you build your own power trip. It's an ultimate sandbox where you can bring your darkest mechanical designs come to life. Also, you saw these voxel graphics. The final game will have like smooth surfaces, something like you seen with Astroneer. To the core mechanics of the game, as I said, it's a sandbox. Let's start with the dude. This guy, he's anatomically completely correct. He has organs, he has a bloodstream, he has a brain. If anything of that gets hurt, he will suffer or even die. And we don't stop there. This guy has also emotions and reactions. Yeah, so waving a gun in front of him will him flinch a little bit. Also interesting note, the most requested feature for Half-Sword is different screaming voices. So we're right in this category. It's gonna have like insane fast physics because we're utilizing something which is called .ecs of Unity. Everything can be destroyed, everything is a voxel which can be destroyed and manipulated. The guy is made out of voxels and the player can build contraptions, machines, which are also Turing complete. So we believe that players can even build computers inside of our game. There are some examples. One of them stands out in this category, which is People Playground. We think that Flashback can be a People Playground with 3D. If you haven't heard of this game, it sold 8 million copies by now. After 10 years, it's going stronger than ever in the 10th year. And other people maybe know Gary's Mod, sold 25 million copies. And even if the game is not very popular, they still sell. They still sell like crazy. With this competition, we still think there's a blue ocean out there for us. Ironically, the opposite is the red ocean, which is filled with blood. Reason is the technology is now here to have this, which is our proprietary engine based on .ccs. Flashback will be integrated with the Steam Workshop very closely. People Playground will be the blueprint for, or is the blueprint for this, so people can share their own contraptions on Steam Workshop and vote on it, comment on it, and play them themselves in their own game. So this trinity of virality, gore, and physics is also highly clippable. We think this is the secret sauce of Flashback. Can we do this? Yes, absolutely. This is not a fever dream. This is not our first rodeo. Our first game, Dawn Apart, was utilizing this God mode engine which we made. And so this is, for example, rendering 3.9 billion voxels at the same time. And yeah, the dude, for example, in Flashback, that's only 1 million. The ask. So we are 2 months into development. We need roughly 300K till 1.0. We want to launch in early access in 6.5 months. What the publisher can help us with is rolling QA and also reaching out to these 900 creators, which we identified already, who have played similar games, so that they at least try Flashback once or even adopt it for their main game, for their channels. And also creating content campaigns for our creators. Okay, and then I want to close with these quotes I got from GDC from various publishers. One with them I started the pitch, and the other one is amazing. I want to answer this question. No, I'm not on a speedrun for an FBI watch list. Thank you.
Loved it. Great pitch, great information. Would have loved to have something like 2 or 3 more minutes for every detail that you can mention, because you only touched the surface of everything, but you touched it very beautifully, at least in my opinion. And it was, my only question is, what would you say, what would be something in the sense of USP in your game?
The secret sauce I mentioned, the virality, the high clippable content people can make. It's not about me making the game viral, it's the content creators out there which can make the game viral. And that's manifold my chance of having a successful game than if it would be just me.
In your mind, that's kind of uniqueness?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know People Playground, but I mean, there are like amazing contraptions out there, like millions of them, which people make. That's content I'm not making, that's people out there making.
Thank you very much, loved it.
Also, thank you from my side, great presentation. I didn't fully get the product itself. So are you selling basically the sandbox first and foremost? Or is it like with the dude that you have shown at the beginning, is there a campaign attached to it or anything else?
Yeah, so basically you're asking about the core gameplay loop. Whatever the player can come up with, that's the idea. The game starts with the dude spawns in front of you, you have a gun in your hand, what do you do? Right? So like an Abramovich experiment, basically. Or if you know the movie Hostel, basically this. People can build their own contraptions with this, share this with people. Yeah, so your imagination is your limit, you know. That's like the progression you do in your game, whatever you can come up with.
And sorry if I missed that, maybe, have you mentioned the price target for this one?
Sorry, I didn't mention this. So People Playground, for example, goes for $8. Sometimes it's discounted for $4. There are, you can ask up to $20 for it. Something in that range. Okay,
yeah, and you mentioned EA, so maybe you are having a lower price when you start EA and then you are raising it later on.
Yes.
Do you consider age ratings also, or you go with Steam only?
Yeah, that might be something you're onto. So we see that there's like a lot of censorship going on YouTube at least. TikTok is not so much. We might swap the guy out if it's necessary for a content creator to be like an alien, green blood, blue blood, whatever, not looking like a human. But this will be 18 plus.
Definitely, yeah. But I mean, you can think of accessibility features by having an option to switch blood on off or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you for the presentation. Definitely an interesting product in development. I got a couple of questions. How did your first game do? The
Bonaparte. It's in early access at the moment. We have 100,000 wish lists. There will be a major content update in June, and we want to release 1.0 in November.
And how long the game's been out for?
Exactly. So we spent, I mean, this is like 2 months work, which you just saw. But of course it is based on our previous game, which took us 4 years to make. And 2 years of them is the God Mode engine. We kind of fell into this trap making the engine first. But now is the time to rake in the proceeds, I guess.
Any non-standard technical requirements given like the voxels? And the level
Why voxels? Question?
No, the question is any specific technical requirements, like system requirements to play this game with?
I have it here on my 5-year-old laptop, and it runs with 60 frames, so we can show you later.
How many models are you planning to have during like the normal, you know, gameplay? How many models can you support? How many people can you basically be experimenting on?
Right, right. So as I mentioned in Bonaparte, we're rendering 3.9 billion voxels with moving crates on conveyor belts, etc. The entity component system, which it's a paradigm how you handle items in a game, or in general in data. It renders 3.9 billion voxels. This guy is 1 million voxels. So there's like a lot of room for people. So in this demo, I showed this one explosion in the corner. It was actually from my laptop. There were like 10 dudes getting obliterated with no frame rate drops. So yeah, I mean, in venture capital, there's always the question, why now? Why is a business viable now? In this case, it's because ECS is here.
I see. Are you concerned with regards to controversy that could be following this game for obvious reasons?
Well, I keep my pants on, and everything else is up for the content creators out there. So I'm not worried.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the pitch. I guess one of my concerns here is around you mentioning that the imagination is going to be the driving force of players in this game. Some of the other games that you mentioned are, there is a progression. They are scenario based, where you then have to then use your imagination to solve basically the puzzles. Do you feel like that is going to set your game apart, the fact that you don't have it? Or is it a case of, could it be a concern that you don't have it, in the sense that not everyone has that imagination to just think of a scenario? They prefer to have a scenario sprung upon them to then come up with something with their imagination.
Yeah, there are like two groups of people. I think there's like the builders in this game. We see this with the People Playground. And then there's the consumers, like the people who are downloading the stuff from the Steam Workshop and trying it out, playing it. And then maybe there's even this third group, which is like the creators, and they either build or make their own thing or play these things. I wanna also add that this game is highly moddable. So every model you see, it's a Vox file. It's a program called Magic Voxel. It's for free, open source, and XML files. So whatever you can come up with, which is not there in the game, I don't know, like Atomic Nuke or something, you can add this to the game. By the way, the game will have an atomic nuke at the beginning. So,
for me, the reason I bring it up is, the marketability of the game is it feels like you're excluding quite a large group of people by not having those scenario based, because they prefer it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just more of a thought around the marketing about that. The barrier of entry for people coming in.
Yeah.
While yes, it's fantastic for modders, for UGC, I feel like there's a big group of people that you are missing by basically not having even like a little small narrative or story, or just a driving force for people to continue to come back to play the game.
I think you're right at the beginning, but give it like 2 months in, there will be tons of stuff.
Oh, 100%. It's just at the start. It's obviously to learn the game itself is a fantastic way to do so.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, just quickly. So you're looking for 300K to reach early access or 1.0?
1.0.
1.0.
Yeah.
So early access is 9 months from now, or?
It's probably 7 months now, 7-ish, 8.
Okay. You mentioned that you want the voxels to be smoothed, or the models. Why?
Well, with the other part, the game which we did before, we noticed that there is a bunch of people who either completely fell in love with this art style or they detest it. And we want to solve this with having these marching cubes, they called, so that you get like round shapes on voxels.
Right. I personally think this game is very well targeted. I'm pretty sure that you will find a publisher for this. I think the only disadvantage might be if you go too realistic, that is too dangerous territory. So I think the voxel visuals are still fine. If you're making it more realistic, then maybe you will have less brave publishers.
That's a good idea,
jump in.
actually. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but anyway, good luck with this great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So flashback 18 plus indeed, I guess. The last in this category is game with a lovely name. I'm very interested in pronunciation, so I'll try to do my best and welcome on the stage the Nowhere.
Can you play the teaser, please?
So, it is over, right?
I hope so.
I knew you would find me. I knew you would save me.
This can't be real. When will this nightmare end?
We can stop it. Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Matouš, and I'm working on this game called The Nowhere. So, yes, it was correct. Thank you. Okay, let's go. I started to do a 2.5D game at the beginning of this year. And as you can see on the screen on the left, it's very similar visually to some kind of game, one Sweden game that you maybe know. Then, after some conversation with experts in the industry, thank you, David, he said, it doesn't look too bad, but it's too average. Okay, so I decided to change the whole game and make it full 3D, as you can see on the screen on the right. Yeah, so the gameplay of the story line should be something in 4 to 5 hours, something like that. And it's very inspired by legendary game Ico, if you remember. And it really takes some inspiration from other games like Bramble or Little Nightmares. This is the main game core of the game, so it's some exploration, it's stealth and escape with some kind of fight implemented in the game. And the motivation to the player to play the game is this duo, the boy who's called He and the princess Aya on the left. The princess works like in some motivation or light in the gameplay of this whole story, and you have to go through the city of Dno, which can be really similar to some our nightmares, and then save her some kind. So there is some audience that I am targeting to, or we are targeting to. It should be some major players, the fans of the Little Nightmares series, or Animal, or Bramble, and maybe some major players who played the Ico or the Shadow of the Colossus and games like that, because it should be visually really rich for that. I shared some videos on social sites, mostly Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, and get these organic views. And some medias wrote about the game already, and it's been like 2 months now that I released some kinds of picture screens and things like that. There is some roadmap, so we are working now with my really good friend Daniel. I will mention him later, and on the vertical slice, and there is a expected global launch in Q4 27. Yeah, so that's me. I'm going since the 1st of June full-time into the game development, and there is Daniel who's helping me with programming and sites of that game. There is some budget that we need for the game. It's 100,000 euros, and the list of the things that we want to use it is there as well. Okay, there is some split with the publishers and investors, and my time is over, I see. Thank you. I just want to mention one last thing that wasn't seen there, and it's that I want to create the whole new IP of the universe, of the Nowhere, or things like that. So we are planning to do merch like statues, figures, t-shirts, maybe some comic book, and things like that, because I really want to tell more than the game has itself there. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. It was good to see, there was a roadmap and, some of the financials of the game. I will have to say the trailer gave very little away of what the game actually is. And if I'm honest with you, after watching it, I really wasn't sure. So it may be worth a revisit to give me a bit more of an understanding of what it is. I think you're potentially going into quite a tough genre. And I found kind of like the color scale, sorry to sound high, it was quite drab. You know, it wasn't very eye-catching, it wasn't very exciting, you know, it wasn't colorful, it wasn't beautiful. I understand there's tones, but I just felt the whole color scale, like the character looked quite washed out, you know, against the background, and when he was climbing and stuff like that. You know, I didn't really understand what was making this game special. You know, you're going up against, you know, some pretty great games, and I didn't come across any kind of game features or gameplay that would make me think, okay, I need to stop playing that game and come towards your game. So I think it'd be good for you to focus a little bit more on what's special, what's unique about your game, what those unique selling points are, the trailer, and then maybe have a look at, you know, the visuals of the game a little bit more, because I know you've gone from, you know, 2.5D to full 3D. How do you make your character stand out a little bit more? You know, how can you kind of enhance kind of the world a little bit to, you know, give it a little bit more character?
Yeah, thank you. I completely get this, because we started to redo it. We scratched everything, and we started in start of April. So it's really a prototype, and I need something that I can show. But you are not the first one who's telling me, I saw the video, but it's not telling me anything. Yeah, so thank you very much for that feedback.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. Something that is used is called target screenshots. So you are mocking a screenshot on how the game is supposed to look like later on, in case the development is stuck, as we just heard now. The guy is wearing a special hat, and we have seen this beautiful handout here. What's the story about that hat?
Yeah, it's something in the game, and I have to thank you, my amazing girlfriend, Julia, that she made this. The paper hat is something like that you are meeting in the game in some points. So it is like a boat, because it's a boat, but he is wearing it, and it's really deeply put it into the story of it, what it means at the end. But I don't want to spoil it now.
No, of course not. Of course not. No. And you are going into the horror genre. What kind of horror is that? Is that psychological horror? Is that?
It should be some atmospheric, no jump scares, because I don't like it, and I think that more atmospherical and psychological genre of that is really going through the market now. So that's the way. The atmospheric, psychological, something like that.
And it's single player, right?
Yes, it's single player.
So maybe you have said it, but if you can put in a synopsis of the story that would connect to the very emotional start, the video, which was not fully explaining the game or the gameplay mechanics, but was setting a nice tone because also of the music. So that would be helpful at least for me. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm still struggling if it's only the short time, like 4 minutes, to show something of the game, or if you're that early stage in game development that you can't show anymore, or is it something like there isn't anymore, right?
Understand. We have some kind of things done right now, but when I was making the presentation, I have some GIFs there with some animation and some really short gameplay, but then I have to send it in PDF, so it's just screens, you know. But we are really on the start now. Really on the start of the because I had the complete demo of the game. And now we are rebuilding to the 3D. So I want to take the destinations of the demo that I had done and now rebuild it to the new kind of visual, you know. But it's really beginning.
Did you had a slide in your presentation that shows something like the timeline or something like that? Did I miss that? Or
I hide it there. Originally, I was targeting to the upcoming Steam Next Fest. On June, I think, or end of May. But then I decided to longer the way than when it comes out, and we should have completed the vertical slice or the demo by the Q3 this year. And then we want to launch it in Q4 27. So there should be something like 1 year of development. But it was there, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I did. There was so many information, and I was missing the red line to go from here to there somewhere. It's not really that I guess you have a lot of things on your mind, and a lot of good things on your mind, but I'm not really getting where you were aiming at.
I understand. I have a business case here prepared, but I didn't want to interrupt you with that. But I had the conversation with a publisher like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that. And I was talking about the game like 10 to 15 minutes because there were many information that I have to say about the game, about the timeline, about the plans, about the revenue that we need, everything like that. So yeah, 4 minutes for me, it's really short.
I totally agree. So thank you very much for the presentation. Like the idea, don't know where it gets.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. I think there are a lot of things to be said about the presentation itself, the things to improve in the presentation. However, my advice right now is just focus on the game. Focus on the game. There isn't a lot to show right now, and the things you have shown, like they need polish. I don't know if you see that. I assume you are, so just don't present it for now. Focus on the product, work on the product for a few months, make it look really nice, and then start working on the presentation again.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I said, it's just a early phase of the game right now, yeah.
Yes, thank you. I know 4 minutes are harsh, but we are also having this conversation afterwards, so it's in fact like 10 minutes. But I really think in your case, you used exactly the first 10 seconds to catch the attention, you know, and set up the tone. That was beautiful. And as others said, now you need to spend time in your game to keep the attention because the first part was great. Now you need to prove the game. I have just maybe 2 short points. One, I have very visual memory. It's always what I used in my time when I was producing games. When I close eyes, I cannot see your character. And that's the problem if you want to build an IP around it, not only a game, as you said. Only this paper boat is not enough for IP, you know. So it's nice gift, thank you. But for IP, you need strong character, something you can build your IP around, and that's something you need to focus on if you want really to build the whole IP. Second thing, and that's just a tip when you're making a demo for publishers, because the demo needs to be, you know, intense usually, and in your case it's hard because the game is more about journey. It's 70% or how much of exploration. So the demo needs to still sell this in like 30 minutes, I would say. So that's really tricky part for your genre. Other than that, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you know where? I'm glad I hit the pronunciation. That was all from Enchanting and Experimental Genres. We will have a short break, 10-minute break, and then we're gonna go to Established and Why Audience Genres. Final announcement, once again, will be 7:30 at Chateau. So 10 minutes break. If I say 10, I mean 15 usually. So. No já si klidně to... Okay. So guys, 1 minute, we will start in 1 minute. So guys, I really hope you had a nice break. We're going to continue with our ride and game Pitch Arena Liberec 2026. Now, established and wide audience genres, kind of main category. And we're going to kick off with Grayton the Detective. Big applause.
Hi, I'm Boris, and imagine being so wealthy that you cannot even make your own coffee because your butler does it for you. Now, imagine losing it all, including your home, while still keeping the same aristocratic mindset. This is Grayton. He never was a real detective, but the only opportunity he sees is to play one, and so can you. When his ex-butler gets arrested, Grayton has to solve a big mystery to save himself and his friend. Welcome to the story of the world's first timeless detective. This is not just a point-and-click adventure game. We offer you a modern direct movement for the modern audience, but also optional point-and-click for the nostalgic players. One of the main USPs is 3D-style spatial interactions while keeping the 2D visuals. You can explore with zero pixel hunting. We offer you multiple solutions to the puzzles. It's up to you how you solve them, but keep in mind that it will it will impact the story, the characters' attitude, and also other puzzles. You're not only looking for items, but also looking for clues. The clues come in many forms because you do not only talk to characters but also eavesdrop on them. The clues are gathered in this mind map where you make your deductions and choose conclusions which also impact the story and gameplay. But choose your decisions wisely because it has consequences. So let's talk business. The price point for the whole game is $20, split into 2 episodes, $10 each, with the first release in Q3 next year. Our primary audience is 18 to 35, edgy story game lovers from worldwide. We have also some secondary audiences, including the nostalgic ones in mind. The target sales are estimated to 50K per the first year, as the adventure games are on the rise, and the break-even is set to 15K years old. The budget, we already invested 200K, and we're seeking 100K more. And we already have like most of the first episode done and almost half of the second one. We've done some marketing activities and we have plans for other ones, but we're looking for the budget and the timing. We have some complex characters with deep backstories, which offers transmedia IP potential for movies, comic books, toys, etc. These are some similar recent games, some games that we made and some awards. This is our team of industry professionals and young talents. These are some projects that they worked on, technology, some backgrounds, and thank you for... let's solve the case together.
Okay, I would love to rewind and have a slow motion. Really appreciate, and we will also promise to speed up in regards to giving the feedback. Yeah, 2D or 3D point-and-click adventures, they have been there already back then, and now they are coming back. That's great. So I'm really happy about the idea that you had. I like the mind map system that you pointed out. Referring to the story, do you have a word count in mind?
Word count? Not really, actually.
That's something you would want to think about. The same, if that is a narrative-driven, story-driven thing,
Sure,
then you should guesstimate then, best guess. And that is also important for a publisher if you want to localize it.
Of course.
And do you have VO plans, like voiceover?
Yes.
Is it a narrative speaker or is it like multiple characters?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yes. So is it only one speaker that is telling you the story, or do you plan a voiceover for each character?
Each character.
Okay, that's something which is also interesting to know for the publisher. How many voices / speakers you are looking for? And
yeah, at least 20.
20.
Yeah, but
okay.
Only in English. It's
English. Okay. I really appreciate that you started with the key art at the beginning. That was very appealing to me as well. And that's it from my side.
Yeah, and sorry, we didn't have a chance to show the trailer, but if you would see the trailer, we already have voice actors, so you can watch it afterwards and check it out. It's cinematic, so yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Loved it how you speed up in the end. Really, really, really good presentation. I'm not really sure if you've done the math right by doing something like 15,000 units to reach the break point, something there. I'm not really sure if that's really going to happen, because if you find a publisher or something like that, that might be some additional budget to be invested in the game and to be recouped afterwards. So whenever you go for something like this, there's the trailer really needed, so I would ask for the trailer. But you said you couldn't show it because, I guess, due to the timeline. But it's a really good pitch.
Thank you so much.
Would love to see more.
Thank you so much. you can check the trailer. Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. We're trying to, give our feedback as quickly as possible. So just a quick question. You mentioned there is a trailer, so the game has been announced. How are you guys doing on the following the wish lists right now?
Yes, great question. Currently, we doesn't have a demo released, so the wish lists are not on the level that we imagine. We have yesterday we had 2,070 wish lists, which is pretty low, but with the demo and all the activities that we plan and then that we are preparing for, we are expecting much, much higher amounts.
And the game has been announced for how long?
Quite long. Announced for the development groups and so on. But for the public, it's maybe a year or so, depending on the viewpoint.
Thank you.
In the interest of keeping my feedback short, I'll just ask you just kind of the one question is, I wasn't sure of what the tone of the narrative is. Is it supposed to be funny? Is it dark? I wasn't sure, so I was just wondering if you could kind of just explain a little bit more about, what sort of narrative it's going to be.
This is a great question. Thank you so much for it. The tone is kind of like a mix of the dramatic, mysterious, and also kind of like dark humor, body comedy, and so on. So we're mixing multiple ways, so it's kind of unorthodox to say. So that's why we target for the edgy story game lovers.
Right, and not to sound kind of judgmental, but how would you know that the dark humor is funny? Like, that's one of the ones where this sort of game, the narrative is going to make or break.
Yeah.
The jokes and stuff inside. How do you know they're going to be funny?
Yeah, we already checked. People love it. If you are not the target audience for the humor side, still the dramatic side is highly valuable. So I feel like you will not be missing anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for presentation. Also, thank you for being yesterday in our publisher panel. So I could see that you took some of our advices from yesterday to your presentation. That's nice. So just a very short budgeting window, maybe, because others was said already. So you're looking for 100K, which is 1/3 of the total investment, you said, because 200 was already invested. With this type of gameplay and amount of characters and probably word count, I would count with another 100K at least for Loka and things like that, and then 100K for marketing, let's say. So we are looking at $500,000 budget. And then you say you sell the game for $20. So normally how we count it, we count half of the price as a recoup, because other is Steam and some sales and so on. So for $500,000, you need to sell 50K units to be on the bottom line, not 15.
Okay, thank you so much for it.
But other than that, great work. Good luck.
Thank you.
Great and the detective, homeless aristocrat. I love this idea. I must say I met Boris at GDC, so he's showcasing the game worldwide, San Francisco, Liberec, important venues. In the next game, I just met reigning world champion, Checkmaster Gukesh D, so I'm really interested in the next project. So please welcome on the stage, Chess Planet.
So hello, I'm Philip, and this is Chess Planet. Can you play the intro, please? So in Chess Planet we are offering multiple environments for user to choose from and to use the story, to develop the story. We have multiple sets with each set and figure having its own animation. Some animations are general, as you can see here, and some animations are unique for the target piece being taken. We are offering a kid-safe mode where the violence of the animations is toned down. So, like, they please each other and blow air in each other's face. And Chess Planet is a mobile game developed for iOS and Android. And we are preparing for Steam release. So, release of the application will be in next month. It's completed. We are doing a test place, and then we will prepare for the Steam release. Sorry, I'm nervous. It's a terrible idea to send an IT nerd who loves to play chess to speak publicly. So I should fire my marketing team if I had one. So, yeah, chess is the most played game of all time, with currently millions of people playing and knowing the rules. We want to take advantage of that and expand that. The mission of Chess Planet is to introduce chess to new families which didn't play before. It's a generational game. Your father taught you chess, and we want to enter families when the chess is not playing generally. We are offering multiple, we are offering like a local game versus AI, a multiplayer game, a Fisher random game, which is like the future of chess, and tournaments and a storyline. We are currently developing two stories. One is like onboarding one, when we will teach you the basics of chess. And the main one, which is, there is a planet which, where the main sport is chess. And they are playing for the chess championship to rule the world. Doing the story will earn you sets. There are different sets we are currently having. Each set is having unique play style when the AI is playing it. When you are playing the story, each set is having their own playing style. So the orcs are aggressive without a background, without a defense, and stuff like that. So our marketing strategy is like to get the use of the huge Twitch and YouTube streaming category, and with 3D printing, we want to sell single figures on like gas stations and stuff like that. So father will buy his children a nice figure, and then they will find out that it's a chess game. The monetization, we are free to play, free to advance. It's just cosmetics. We are selling cosmetics and also giving the cosmetics in the story. We are 1 month away from the mobile release, with going with the Steam one. That's where the money would go, because all the backpacks and the settings and stuff like that is done native in the mobile, and then we are starting the Unity module. So I thank you for your attention, and sorry for my nervosity.
Thank you for the presentation. I didn't realize you were so nervous, but you know, I'm glad to see you persevered. You mentioned that you are releasing on mobile in a month, did you say?
Yes.
Have you done like your user acquisition testing to understand, you know, your retention rates, your CPI or click-through rates, all that sort of stuff? Have you got all of that data with you?
So, like, to be fair, when I'm saying user testing, like we are having like 100 users testing the app currently, and we are sending them forms with like feedback and stuff like that, and trying to like last minute modify the game. That's like, to be fair, like the reason I'm here, I need to help with marketing, as you can see, because that's me. And I want to learn enough for the Steam release to do it properly.
Well, okay, thank you.
Are you making this game alone?
So currently there are like 6 people coordinating on the game. We have like two Unity developers, sound designer, a graphic designer, and I didn't have enough time to show it, but we have a 3D printed set which has people working on it too.
And you mentioned, I think at the end of the presentation, you mentioned something about the money, but did I miss the slide?
Oh, you didn't miss the slide. To be fair, like the money would be spent on marketing. Like I'm capable of covering the cost by other entertainments.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Just to mention, like when I sign up for the presentation, I wasn't sure when the game will be finished, but we were quick on our feet, so that's the state.
Okay, thank you. Just very quick question. So you mentioned the Steam and the budget goes there. So are you looking for the budget for the Steam version, or that's also covered from your side?
Oh yeah. So for the Steam version, we have to develop all the settings and backpacks and buy mechanism and stuff like that. So that would be the go for the money.
Okay, so I think that needs to be clearly then in your pitch presented in the future, like how much money you need from publisher, what is monetizing of the Steam version, because that was not clear to me, like if the monetization is different, if it's full price or if it's like premium game or still free-to-play game. I really like the idea of bringing chess to kids, because I'm also playing, and I started playing with my 6-year-old son, for example, chess. So I love that, and I think the quite challenging but maybe successful way might be to even connect it with some well-known IPs, talking with guys from SpongeBob and things like that. That would be brave, but I think that might help kids to go that path with more attention that they have for chess normally. Other than that, thank you very much. If you go the other path, not for kids but for adults, then you can talk with the flashback guy and do it in that style.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Maybe Vlad, maybe not.
No, sorry, but we are not done yet. I was just not speaking, so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we tried a different ranking, a different order. So just to double check, I can only play with a human, or can I also play in single player? And if I can play in single player, how do you set up the AI competitive mode?
Yeah, so you are starting as a young king, which is cast out of his home, and he's gathering up his new chess team. While you're going through the story, you are earning cosmetics, and in the end you are earning another set. So you are starting as the Mafia set, as the red one, and then as you complete the story, you are earning more sets.
And the story is single player?
That's the single player, yeah.
Okay. And how long is that?
Currently 3 hours, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
In the interest of time, I will be very short. I loved it. You should be much more proud of yourself, what you did and everything like that. Great pitch. Thank you very much. Don't see any business for me as a publisher in that, but I would really love to see my son and everybody else playing this game. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So chess planet, 1 billion people know the rules. That's brilliant. Now we are going to different planet. So please welcome on the stage Marble Punk adventure Recurso.
So imagine a game about a sarcasm and a surrealism. That is Recurso. Now, at its core, Recurso is a linear third-person cover-based shooter where you basically assume the role of a memoryless protagonist who fuses with a sarcastic Satian weapon, navigating through the marble city towards a philosophical voice. The entire experience is structured to be around 7 to 9 hours long, priced at €20, with the estimated production budget ranging from 1 to 1.3 million euros. The player fantasy is quite actually simple. You wake up alone, a weapon fuses to your body, and a mysterious voice is calling you to the city center, the Zikurat. And the city itself, even though it's silent, it's certainly not empty. It's listening, it's watching, and slowly deciding what to do with you. Now, Recurso itself is not an abstract art game. Beneath all that surrealism is actually proven fighting DNA, basically a shooter with a tactical repositioning. What makes it special, original, is its specific visual language and narrative language. So it's familiar enough for you to understand it quickly and strange enough for you to remember it. My favorite slide. You have 4 ingredients in one exotic cocktail. Basically, it shall play as a Gears of War. It has the character dynamics very akin to the Lethal Weapon. All of that being set in a sci-fi surreal world, very similar to the Jodorowsky's Inkal, with the production value something similar to the Scorn. Basically, a small game, but with the premium visuals. Now, the genre right now sits in this underserved territory, and we are gladly taking this old school genre, mixing it with the IP's unique visual identity. And we are fully aware of our core audience, of the market path, and of the market informating. It's not has been announced yet. Now, the gameplay has a specific rhythm. It has more dynamic action rhythm, the cover-based fighting, and then my more favorite, the narrative rhythm, which is about the traversal, the dialogue storytelling, the environmental storytelling, where the player is navigated through the city by the talking weapon, and of course the architecture. And speaking of the traversal, let me introduce you to the key gameplay mechanic, which already has been developed and successfully implemented. It's gravity vector traversal. Basically, it allows you to walk on the walls, ceilings, and the pillars. It's scoped to be rare, rather special for special moments. It's not everywhere. Narratively, Recurso is delivered by 3 voices only. You have a playable character, the Satian weapon, and a philosophical master who is an antagonist. To say a few words about the weapon is not just a talking gun. It's your guide, it's your gameplay critique, and your companion with whom the protagonist creates this vitriolic body-like relationship. Just don't mention High on Life, please. And the reasonable gameplay scope is a important part of the design philosophy. You have just one biome, but very specific with several variations across the campaign. Then on top of that, you have just the 3 characters and 0 cinematic load, possibly no cutscenes. And when it comes to the game content, you have 7 weapons, 4 combat modes, 11 enemy variety, and of course the final boss. It will be the wholesome experience with a potential of episodic releases, if it's successful, reusing the existing assets and the characters. To say a few words about the Volume 94, its senior talent structure, and to say a few things about me, I'm the IP creator, creative director, and a producer / the investor. So now the juicy part. Right now, the pre-production has been predominantly finished. There has been many done, especially the playable prototype, from my own pocket, from my own capital, almost 200,000 euros. And right now, it's ready for its next funded step, which would be the vertical slice. And we are looking for a publishing partner to guide us through the vertical slice, full production, and launch. So, thank you. And if you need anything, I can provide you with everything.
Thank you for the presentation. I think you mentioned in the slides the game is not announced yet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What would you say, and I think you covered this in one of the slides, but I'm still not bought on this. What do you think makes this game stand out? Why would anyone stop playing, I don't know, Fortnite and play this game instead? It's a third-person shooter, right?
Third-person linear shooter. Yeah, it's going back. You would say to this golden age PS3, Xbox 360 era. It's based on my
MDK vibes, like at least in your character design.
Yeah. It's you can say it's a love letter. From my side, is a love letter to the Uncharted, but it doesn't have several elements as the Uncharted. But what I believe why it can become a mainstream product, it's simple. One of my very weird hobbies is to, like a psychopath, study the gaming market. I'm digesting it a lot. And you've mentioned Fortnite, basically a live service game, which is, of course, the swallowing the chunk of the market. And it will be soon followed by the GTA 6. What I believe is that right now we reach the point where live service games are starting to be slightly obsolete. You have players which will always be here, like a Fortnite, Leagues of Legends, for example. But have a look at, for example, the Concord, the marathon, which is about actually possibly to end its existence very soon. People, I believe, and as I see it, and as I speak to the huge gaming community, they are, first of all, fed up with this, what I call the live service slop, and at the same time, this typical AAA live service, open world structure. Actually, I spoke to many people, and they are begging for games to be like the first Uncharted, the first Dead Space. Just give us something more focused, something shorter. I mean, my time is expensive. And that's why I actually put there the price just at 20 euros. Because what I'm seeing now, as I'm studying the gaming community, they are really annoyed by the contemporary prices, especially from the AAA environment and also the indie environment. Sometimes people are really bothered to pay for some game, which can be also slightly clunky, and it costs around like 50 euros. What was actually a really good step was with a Silksong, for example, the 20 euros. People somehow are they will forgive you more, they'll give you the chance when the price is lower and you are respecting their wallet. And really, I spoke with a huge community begging for such genre. And to make it even spicier, from my perspective, is the fact that it's not just a sci-fi shooter. I mean, that would be unoriginal. So I've decided to give it this really special story with this unique visual art style that was never being done, actually, the Marble City. And it makes the development even cheaper, which is fine.
Okay.
Thanks for the pitch. I think I join Anton a little bit in not being sold on the concept, because I saw you mention that you're trying to aim for a AA kind of title.
Yeah.
But with a budget
double A indie, yeah.
I think the what I can understand is yes, you've got interesting narrative about the gun fusing with the character, but it's going to come down to the gunplay, and I think that's going to be the biggest selling point of whether this is going to work.
In combination with the gravity vector system and the environmental storytelling.
Okay, but I'll be frank, a lot of this stuff will come down to how the gun feels. And are you not concerned about the roadmap of games coming out over the next 2 years that could potentially compete
Which
with
one?
something like this? So the new Gears of War will be coming out, in the next 2 years, and it was named as a key title that you guys are aiming for. Why would someone step away from a game like that? To come and play this one?
I actually missed the question of what they should step away from. What I've missed that.
As in, like people who enjoy gunplay games, they will pretty much stick with what they know.
Yeah.
So what would make them want to really step away? What makes the gunplay so special in this that would make them move away from stuff that they already know, love, tried, tested, to come and play yours?
Well, the game itself has the proven DNA. Basically, it's just the cover shooter for a reasonable price. What's there something interesting if I put away the fact that it has got this weird, different aesthetics and the gravity vector system, and during the gameplay, the dynamics between the protagonist and the weapon is the weapon itself. The ammo, which it uses actually for each weapon, which means you are using an assault rifle, it consumes the matter. Then you switch to the sniper rifle, it consumes the same matter, just the consumption is different. So there is a certain differentiation which somehow works mathematically, and it's not so far bothering.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, also thanks from my side for the presentation. There was a lot of great stuff in it, and one thing I would like to call out was the recipe. You called it for the cocktail.
Yeah.
I love, from a marketing point of view, I love that, and I always recommend to put this in a deck, and that is really appreciated. And also, if you are leaning into movies or are inspired by movies,
I'm actually coming from a movie industry. That's the thing.
Yeah. That was good. I also second the single player aspect versus the, let's say, overcrowded live ops space.
Yeah.
That we have seen, because now we are in a world where you are fully overloaded also with social media messages, and single player give you a break from the internet. The $20 price point was already discussed, so I will keep that short. You said it's tactical shooter. So when you said the cover shooter, that's the core gameplay, right? So
yeah. I mean, as I've said, it's a smaller half. What I actually prefer in that gameplay loop more is the scenario. You are walking through the city. There is no fight. You are going through the corridor, looking at this weird city. There are silhouettes of people, crystallized people, stuck in a motion because they went through the still wake phenomenon. And the weapon, it knows the world, but it's not just a stupid exposition. In this sort of Shane Black style, the lethal weapon, it describes you the world. And when you are approaching a battle arena, that's the funny thing, portion of these statues, the crystallized people, they will react to you because the still wake phenomenon sees you as a virus. And as you go slower to the arena, you are starting to hear the whispering. It's sort of like this sort of diegetic signal that the fight is ahead. You are hearing, and it's getting more intense when you reach the battle arena.
I like that. Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have to say you dropped every keyword a publisher would love to read in this presentation. So beautifully done.
Thank you.
But in the end, I can imagine kind of a game in the back of my mind that I really would love to see with your presentation, but I didn't see anything about the game. So
yeah, the trailer is done, but the 4-minute time frame was so strict that I just cannot show you the prototype and motion. I mean, it can speak for itself. I've mentioned that it hasn't been announced yet, and I will not announce it yet till the vertical slice is ready, where really the visual fidelity, the voice acting is already there. And by the way, the voice actor, I already have them secured. One of them, believe it or not, I would say is the uprising A-lister, which is really good, and I have dealt a good price with him.
To me, it sounds a bit like you set the bar with the presentation and everything you tell me about the game to the highest level. So I'm expecting really much. So I fear that I might be kind of disappointed to see something that's not really that brilliant like you presented it. So I'm really eager to see something. Thank you very much.
I can provide you with the prototype, but as I'm saying, there can be made a good trailer out of it. Expectations. I would be much more comfortable with the vertical slice, but as I've mentioned it, I mean, I'm already almost 200,000 euros poorer. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just very quickly, so very nice presentation, all the business slides, all the business cases. What was not clear to me is the proportion of shooting gameplay in the shooter as 35% versus Traverser for 65% with no cinematics and so on. So can you maybe explain more how you want to fill those 65% without cinematics, with Traverser and story?
Yeah. Basically, as I've mentioned it, because of the budget, to tell something about me, I'm a cutscene freak. In my opinion, Metal Gear Solid 4 with 12 hours of cutscene, it's a masterclass of a game design, in my opinion, and hail to the Hideo Kojima. But I don't have such budget, so what I've decided is I need to replace these cutscenes with the actual environmental storytelling. So what I want to do cheaply, but also efficiently, is that as the player goes through the 3 acts of the campaign, each act shall have a different daytime. Of course, it's static for each act. To witness the city, to see the people stock in several districts. We are starting in a residential district, going to the temple district, then to the academic district, then to the commercial district, and ending up in the ziggurat. And you want to see all of that. You have even though the game is very linear, you have small options to look around and to see the city for itself, interact with it, like to see something, have the interaction button, and have a weapon to tell you something about it, to get closer to it. So it's got some of these elements like the indie games have, that they are slightly in these sections slower and you are discovering the world, but for it to be more mainstream oriented, to go for high sales, I'm putting there also this action aspect, and rather I want to put it there less. 26 encounters so far in a GDD in total, and each of them to be really thought out, not just some mashing of the enemies in the area, like really thought out area with a good geometry and with a good choose of the 11 types of the enemies.
Okay, thank you, and I really like how you have everything already planned and structured. Very nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Recurso, third game in our category. We slightly missed the deadline for presentation and Q&A as well. So sorry for that. The next one sounds really interesting. Cozy FPS. Welcome on the stage, Skybound.
Okay, you've got this. Totally. You've been out with the professor thousands of times. Just another ruin and artifact. You'll be fine.
This is nothing you haven't done before. But be careful. We will meet creatures who will try to dissuade you. You cannot let their doubt poison you. In time, they will all see.
I can do this.
Hello, dobrý den. My name is Adam Fischer.
Hello, dobrý den. I'm Joachim.
And last semester, I traveled to Denmark for Erasmus, for a game dev course. And with this great team, we created a demo for Skybound. And the vibes were really good, and the receptions were really good. So we decided to continue working on that. Skybound, it's a first-person exploration speedrunning game with cozy, whimsical vibe. You play as Belle, who is a young archaeologist eager to prove herself, but she struggles to find her job. Very relatable problem right now. So finally, she received a contract from a mysterious client, and she declines because it's very sus. No, of course she accepts, and that gives you the opportunity to travel from skyland to skyland and meet these unique inhabitants and environments, and find these long-lost artifacts that help you move faster, jump higher, and overcome these challenges. Imagine something like Indiana Jones meets Spider-Man.
All right, well done, Adam. Yeah, so of course, what is a game without being able to break a lot of stuff? As a good archaeologist, you have to get the pieces home, and that's hard when they're all intact. So you can find a lot of stuff and break it, and keep it as collectibles that also advance the lore. We have actually already released Act 1 on Steam for free, and that has allowed us to get a lot of feedback that we can use on the next 2 acts we're planning to get funding for and actually make. Since then, we made more Steam achievements, and we've even added speedrunning and leaderboards. We made a new island with only speedrunning as the focus, where you have to destroy pods on time. We have presented the game on Copenhagen Gaming Week, where we showcased it, where we also learned a lot. I got a lot of great feedback, and we got 3 times the audience votes compared to second place. And we got community going, where some of them already are trying to localize the game for us in French for free. A lot of fine reviews. Yes, and we would love to do, as I mentioned, all the other acts. We would love to do more challenges. We would love to design the UI a bit more, localize, and a lot of marketing. And we would love your help on the marketing because we are new to this, so we would love any experience on this. From all of our playtesting and Copenhagen Gaming Week and all that, we learned that families really like to play this with the children. It's a cozy game where maybe if you're doing something hard, the child can play that part, but the parent loves playing along. If we move along to the time frame, it's going to be around 8 months, as you can see here. And the target is 121,000 euros. We're also going to be applying for other funding, Danish national funding as well. A lot of sweat equity as well, and we're in contact with one publisher right now. But this money would really help get the ball rolling. The acts are supposed to be like this, €6.5. Here's other games that are compared to it. We would love to release on Steam and later on Switch if there's enough interest. Yeah, break even is 9,310 units, and that's Skybound.
Thank you for the presentation. I really like the art style and I really enjoyed the trailer. And then I discovered that the game is available on Steam already. And there isn't much interest apparently. Why would you say this is happening? This looks like a very interesting game. It's available for free. And not a lot of people are interested to even try it out.
I think that for the first part we haven't marketed at all. We released it and we got 6,700 players just trying it out and liking the game. So we would like to market it a lot more. That's one of the things. And also we would like to polish it more and do the next couple of acts, which hopefully gets more interest. Because we are noticing we're building a community and people are playing it. And for the numbers, we don't know enough yet about what is a good number. And that's why we would love to get your guys' help.
Why did you decide to release the first part or a demo, whatever, for free?
It was a part of what we were doing, Adam mentioned earlier, at Daddy, where the end product is a released version on Steam. And our idea of keeping working on it is the next couple of acts.
You had an obligation.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Love the art style, love the presentation, guys. The one thing I was trying to learn or understand a little bit more is the driving force of keeping exploring. And you mentioned that you can upgrade the hook and go a little bit faster, go a little bit further, but I was curious to what else is going to keep driving players to keep going.
Yeah, we have a great narrative designer who worked like a huge world around the game, and there's like a lot of mysteries to uncover. There's sort of like a post-apo vibe to it, that you discover these artifacts from our world, like a scale or microphone or toaster or something, and you can use it like they have some sort of like magical power. There's like a bit of fantasy in it, but yeah, you kind of learn about the world and how it broke apart, basically. And there is also the flow aspect of the game. The movement is very fun. You just go, and as you go, the path will lead you to something interesting, and you naturally discover new information and want to learn more. Yeah.
And then I guess the other part is, the traversal part is an instrumental part of the game. are you going to introduce any other features as well to kind of help mix it up, other than obviously you say that, you can go faster and further? Is there anything else you're going to introduce to kind of help mix it up and stop it from kind of being a little bit repetitive?
Yeah, for sure. All the islands, there's 3 islands right now, and they already have different environmental aspects, like exploding mushrooms or things breaking apart that you have to avoid. So each island is already kind of a different game with a different kind of mechanics, but the core mechanics of Bell is the same. That's to help you not having to learn a whole new game every time you play. And we have a lot of ideas for the other islands as well, for fun gameplay that will keep innovating and be fun.
I think like a good reference is, for example, the neon white, how it works with the environment. You have like the different cards and new cards with as the play progresses, and so something similar is our plan as well. Like add like more dynamic environment that you can use in new ways, basically.
Okay, thank you very much.
I will keep it very short. You mentioned there is a co-play with families. Is it with a split screen, or is it just after another, or how does it work?
By co-play, it was watching your child play and switching between each other. We are also talking about adding co-op, possibly, because there's a lot of people that came to us at Copenhagen Gaming Week and said that would be an awesome co-op game. Where then again we can include a lot of more classics. Co-op stuff, one has to go here and the other one has to stay there and stuff like that. So that is a thought we also have, and again, we would love a lot of feedback on that, potentially with a publisher as well, see how much the market would increase for that maybe.
Cool. Thanks, yeah. Keep it short.
I keep it very short. I liked it, I loved it. I do see something on my mind, like, I don't know how to say it. It's something like, it feels like I have played that game. So I'm not really wondering what it could be like, but I don't see anything like, why should I play it again?
Okay, it's hard to answer without knowing what you played.
For sure. There's nothing like an answer. It's something that I would like to mention is only like, how would you like to differentiate your game from something like others?
Well, if you look at the other speedrunning games, they are very like urban and dystopian and kind of like in the middle of the something like techno or like buildings or something like that, like Mirror's Edge or as I mentioned, Neon White, and we mixed it up with the like whimsical environments and like very vibrant colors and very unique islands, like apart from each other. So yeah, I think it's. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I would be selling this game to publisher, I think the tricky part is what Anton said in the beginning. If you have like a game that is for free and it has 70 reviews, or how much, then no publisher would jump on and give you money to then prove that if it's paid, it can sell more. First thing I would do, I wouldn't call it first game. I would call it maybe it's your technological prototype. It's something you're testing out there, but still, I would now spend a lot of time because I know some of those games, speedrunning games, and you need to also prove that you can do some challenges, some special life ops things, and that will help you to also prove that for the publisher that in the life ops phase you can support the game. So I think that is something you need to prove with this technological demo, and then you will have easier time to reach publishers.
For sure, I think that's a great way to do it. That's why we need you. And we already, as I very swiftly went through, we already supported a lot of the community feedback, and that's also why we think this ACT thing is a great way of doing it, because then we can act on feedback and make the next act even better. But I think making it a technical prototype or demo, something like that, that's a smart play.
Yes, thank you very much.
So Skybound episode 1 is free on Steam, so give it a try. I was a bit scared about the idea of archaeologists destroying everything. I really hope that real archaeologists do take care more about the things they found. Last but not least, and give them warm welcome, medieval RTS Magna Regna.
So, I have nothing. Hello, my name is Jakub Hamerník, and I'm creator of the game Magna Regna, which is a classic real-time time strategy game. Let's go to the trailer. There's some. I think it's enough because we are in a hurry, in a time. So let's continue with the game core mechanics. The most obvious one is to collect the resources because you want to build some buildings and train your villagers to further improve your economy. Also, you want to train units for your protection and also for aggression if you do not want protection. Also, you want to progress in technologies because you do not want to be centuries behind your opponents to reach the ultimate goal, which is to fight and conquer your enemies on the map. And what's the motto of the game? It's less clicking, more playing. And for example, you will train units in formations, so you will not click 10 times to have some reasonable number of them, just click once. Also, any action you will do later or forget, you will be not punished so hard as in other games. Also, any feature which will make players' life easier is welcome, and we are gladly implement it. And what I do not like in other games is that one mistake usually leads to the complete defeat, and you know it for a long time, so I think it shouldn't be just that. With slower pace, you have more time to focus on what you want to play and on your strategy, what you want to do. Also, there is no such pressure on the player and can do some decisions what to do in the game. And also, this tends to more learn and explore the game in depth. Also, if you play single player, you have some time to just enjoy the details and watch something what you like. The core of the game is the complex map editor. Despite the most of the players will never touch it, they will see the results because even for us, it's much easier to make the campaigns in it. Also, the rest of the community will unleash their creativity and make amazing stuff. So, it's a must-have to have in this game historical campaigns. Also, other modes will be skirmishes against AI, and later we will add multiplayer with your friends. There is some more information. It's about the comparison to generic RTS. It is generally the same as I mentioned before, but more complex. What I want to say, it's not an e-sport. It's also not very complex, like 4X or so. And also it's still RTS, so it's quite not for everyone. So, there is a timeline. The most important thing is this summer we will release the demo. And at the end of the next year, we will completely release the game. There's the funding. It's estimated for 150,000 euros, and already 60% is covered. We expect to sell 40,000 copies to break even. And that's it. Thank you for your time by the name of my team.
Thank you for the presentation. Would you say this game is like Age of Empires?
Yes, it's very much, but it's different because still Age of Empires is quite competitive, and you have to do a lot of things what newcomers don't understand. It's quite hard to enter this this genre of the games as a newcomer, and I expect it will be easier.
When you mentioned that a single mistake must not mean a defeat, doesn't that mean that you kind of endlessly can make mistakes, then, you know, make amends, then make a mistake again, and it basically there is no punishment or reward, therefore no excitement?
There is, of course, punishment. But, for example, as you mentioned, the Age of Empires, if you play competitively and you lose first villager, you will be always one villager behind your opponent. And it's snowballing, the effect. And this has to be more issues together to lose your game, or you have to do bad decisions. Because there are some comebacks and there are some ways to limit your issues, like you will be not punished for forever, for the rest of the game.
But a good player can still win against, you know, player who's not as skilled.
Yes,
that's the whole point of.
That's the whole point.
RTS games, right? Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I've read on one slide you've done something like less clicking, more playing.
Yeah.
Would you really think that a traditional RTS game is more in the sense of less clicking, more playing?
Traditional RTS games are a lot driven by APMs. It's called click actions per minute, and it's the whole. You will always win if you are much faster than your opponent, even if you do bad decisions. And this is like limited. For example, if you have the whole formations of units, you cannot micromanaging each one to, for example, avoid the shots from the bows, etc. So it will be, I think, more fair for anyone, but it will be less desirable for pro players.
And thinking about combat in the game?
Yeah, there is a combat.
So at least what I've read, that you touched the combat thing not really that much, but you mentioned it like fighting is very important because it's the goal to kind of conquer whatever might be the building of the opponent or something like that. But maybe in your presentation that could be pointed out a bit more.
We had to...
Thank you.
Sorry.
Cool, thanks for your presentation. If you would have 100%, how would you distribute it between single-player focus and multiplayer focus of your game?
At the beginning, it will be 100% single-player because at the release we do not plan multiplayer directly because we have to build community about it. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that everything is balanced, and it also gives us more time to polish it more. Mm-hmm. And players will still enjoy the single player and campaigns.
From a marketing point of view, naming the product Magna Regna is something that could resonate well in European areas. How do you see this for Asian or US regions? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about a tagline, a subtitle?
It was a very hard decision because we selected many names and the best ones are taken. And it's hard to find a good name in English for strategy games, so we went to Latin, and it's open field. And in Latin, it means great kingdoms.
I get that. The point I'm making is that you would want to think about a subtitle, something that makes it easier, consumable for markets that are not so fluent in Latin. Let's put it like this. How many resources do you plan to have in the game?
It's 6.
6 resources, okay.
And one of them is people. You have to build your village and to use a workforce.
You mentioned slow pace RTS. Is that comparable like the active pause function that is already established in RTS, where the game slows down, can even be paused, and then you continue, or is that something different?
In single player, of course, it can be paused anytime and continue.
Okay, so that's the slow paced. I'll get it. And you mentioned the map editor is key. How many maps do you want to deliver with the day one?
We will deliver, I don't know, it's very fast to make a map. You can also auto-generate it, but if you want to polish it, it takes like an hour. And currently we have just like working maps, so we have also a lot of enthusiasts who wish to help us. And also,
and do you plan maps for skirmish as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be intense, like for example 30 or something like that.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Few points. What is the price tag, or what are you planning?
The price tag wasn't yet announced. It's expected to be 30 euros, but it might change if we once we release the demo. We will do more research on that. What would people expect?
Okay, and wish lists were mentioned.
Wish lists we are not much active. We silently announced the game, but we have currently around 5,000 wish lists, but we didn't do anything for that yet.
Then that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Few things. So I remember a while ago when I was having my business in Denmark, and my colleague from Activision mentioned to me that games from Central Europe are often grey. I would agree. Like, I think the art style should be a bit more bold, more colorful, more selling itself, because this isn't appealing for Western US and so on. So that's one point. I wouldn't start also with close-ups on like low poly characters, cutscenes. I would produce some high poly for these at least. But other than that, looks really nice. I didn't get the driving mechanism for players. So there is a campaign telling some historical things, or
as the trailer, it was cut in half because of the time, but. There will be stories behind each campaign. This was the first battle of I forgot the name in the German, but it was the combat, and it has a story based on the real historical values. Okay. And every campaign will progress with such intro cinematics, and then you will play. Learn something.
Okay, maybe the last small hint, like if you depend more on AI, meaning like your units are formed automatically and so on, it's also a dangerous field, because then if it's a bit broken, players are blaming the game, not themselves, for not being able to click fast enough. So you might have some negative reviews because of that.
Thank you for the presentation. There's a few points that I want to kind of like touch on, with it obviously being in the RTS genre. You mentioned that it could be quite forgiving. Predominantly, the majority of the RTS genre is very competitive. So how do you feel that players are going to come in, play online against other people and lose to people who aren't very good? As you say, you could be quite bad at the game and it's very forgiving. So you could end up losing to someone who's not really good with their strategy, smart with their resources, actually are quite strategic with these games, because I would say almost all of the actual genre itself is very competitive.
Yeah, I understand your point, but there is the data that around 80% of RTS players never played multiplayer. They just play campaigns and single player. So we targeting the majority, and the rest can be played together with your friend against AI. And the competitive will be the least option in this game. We do not target the esports, as I said.
Okay, that's great. I mean, that's worth noting as well in your presentation that there is a giant split, you know, that it's only 20% competitive and 80% will just play a single player. What makes this game so special that I will step away from, you know, all of the other RTS games out there? You know, the quality is already incredibly high. What would make them want to step away and come over to yours?
I think the selling point is that the game doesn't force you to do everything on time, like in competitive RTS. It's still, most of the RTS are based on the competition. And here, for example, if you forget to research technologies and you remember a few seconds later, you will not lose that few seconds. So the players who tends to play like more freely, they will enjoy it much more.
Okay, and then I guess more on the RTS front is because the games are very complex. How long have you been developing this game for already? And then how long does it need actually in development as well?
It's been 9 years in development right now. And
Wow.
end of the next year we will be releasing.
9 years is a long time for development
it's
for an RTS.
But this summer we are feature complete, except the multiplayer, which is least important for us right now.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and that's all from Game Pitch Arena Liberec 2026. Thanks for all the teams. You know, it's not easy to stand here presenting your game in English language. So hats off. Thanks Anifilm and Cybercell Consulting for organizing this event. Thanks to our partners PPF Foundation, Liberecký kraj, and Fuchs and Das. Thank you for watching, and thanks to our strong panel, Alan Edham from Everplay Group, Henner Brun from Calypso Media, Mario Gerhold from Night Peak My Games, Anton Ravin from Fulcrum Publishing, and Vladimir Gershon from Cybercell Consulting and Sale.game. Give them big applause. And I guess now you are really eager to see the winners. Give us a few hours. We must, think about it like super deeply, and the final verdict will be announced today, 7:30, and a huge stand close to the chateau. So see you there. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything.